Welcome to the Christadelphian Bible readings for the 31st of March. I will be reading from the King James Version, and the readings for today are Numbers chapter 14, Proverbs chapter 10, and Luke chapter 23. Numbers chapter 14. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. The whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? Wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return unto Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them, they searched the land, rent their clothes, and they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we have passed through to search it is exceedingly good land. If the Lord delight in us, then we will bring us into this land, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against ye the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defence is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear not. But all the congregation bathed stones them with stones, and the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long will this people provoke me? How long will they ere they believe me for all the signs which I have shown among them? I will smite them with pestilence, and disinherit them. Will make of thee a greater nation, mightier than they. Moses said unto the Lord, Then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy midst from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitations of this land. For they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people, and that, Lord, art seen face to face, that thy cloud standeth over them, and thou goest before them, by the daytime in a pillar of cloud, and a pillar of fire by night. Now, if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then all the nations which have heard thy fame of thee will speak, saying, Because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore have slain them in the wilderness. Now I beseech thee, let the power of the Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken. The Lord is long-suffering, and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and the fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people, according to the greatness of thy mercy, as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even until now. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, because of all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet they have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and have followed me fully, him I will bring into the land whereinto he went. His seed shall possess it. Thou and the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwell in the valley. Tomorrow turn ye, and get into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. And Moses spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, How long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I've heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which murmur against me. Say unto them, As surely as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to the whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones, which ye have said should be a prey, them I will bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness. And the children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. And after the number of days in which ye searched out the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, ye shall bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know the breach of promise. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation, that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men which Moses sent to search out the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him, by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land, died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search out the land, live still. And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel. And the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning, and gat them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and we go up into the land unto the place which the Lord had promised. For we have sinned. And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandments of the Lord, that it shall not prosper? Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, but ye be not smitten before your enemies. For there the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye are turned away from the Lord. Therefore the Lord will not be with you. They presumed to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and Moses departed not out of the camp. There the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwelt in that mountain smote them, and discomfited them even unto Horem. Proverbs chapter 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is heaviness of his mother. Treasures of the wicked profiteth nothing, but the righteous delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in the summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but the violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but the parting fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his way shall be known. He that winketh it with the eye causeth sorrow, but a parting fool shall fall. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but the violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. In the lips of him that have understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is in his strong city. The destruction of the poor is in their poverty. The labour of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin. He that is in the way of life, but keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. He that hateth with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. In the multitude of words there waiteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongues of the just is as choice silver, the heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but the fools die for the want of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. It is sport to the fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him. The desire of the righteous shall be granted. As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more. But the righteous is an everlasting foundation, as vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes. Slow is the sluggard to them that send him. The fear of the Lord prolongeth his days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. The way of the Lord is a strength to the upright, but destruction to the workers of iniquity. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but the forward tongue shall be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh forwardness. Luke chapter 23. And the whole multitude of them arose, and led him unto Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, We have found this fellow perverting the nation, and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is Christ, a king. And Pilate asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And he answered and said, Thou sayest. Then said Pilate to the chief priests and to the people, I find no fault in this man. And they were the more fierce, saying, He stirreth up the jury, beginning from Galilee to this place. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. And Herod saw Jesus, and he was exceedingly glad, for he was desirous to see him of a long season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen him, some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, and he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and scribes stood vehemently accused him. And Herod, with his men of war, sent him at naught, and mocked him, and arrayed him in a gorgeous robe, and sent him again to Pilate. And the same day Pilate and Herod were made friends together, for they before were at enmity between themselves. And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers of the people, said unto them, Ye have brought this man unto me, as one that perverteth the people. Behold, I, having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man, touching those things whereof ye accused him. No, nor Herod, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto him. I will therefore chastise him and release him. For of necessity he must release one of them at the feast. But they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Barabbas, who for a certain sedation made in the city for murder was cast into prison. Pilate therefore, willing to release Jesus, spake again to them. But they cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. And he said unto them the third time, Why, what evil hath he done? I find no fault and no cause of death in him. I will therefore chastise him, and let him go. And they were insistent with loud voices, requiring that he might be crucified. And the voices of them and of the chief priests prevailed. And Pilate gave the sentence, that it should be as they required. And he released unto them him for sedation and murder, was cast into prison, whom they had desired, but he delivered Jesus to their will. And they led him away, and they laid upon one Simon of Cyrene, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Jesus. And there followed him a great company of people, and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Jesus turned unto them and said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for yourselves, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves, and for your children. For behold, the days are coming, which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the pats which never give suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they came to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment, and cast lots, and the people stood beholding him, and the rulers also with them derided him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he be Christ, the chosen of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him, and offered him vinegar, and saying, If thou be the king of the Jews, save thyself. And the subscription also was written over him, in the letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew, This is the King of the Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be the Christ, save thyself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Does that not fear God, saying, Thou art in the same condemnation, we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds, but this man hath done nothing amiss. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily, I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was a darkness over the whole earth until the 9th hour. And the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in the midst. And when Jesus had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having thus, he gave up the ghost. Now when the centurion saw what was done, he glorified God, saying, Certainly this was a righteous man. And all the people that came together to that sight, beholding the things which were done, smote their breasts and returned. And his acquaintance and all the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, beholding these things. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a counsellor, and he was a good and just. The same had not consented to the council and the deed of them. He was of Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who also waited himself for the kingdom of God. This man went unto Pilate and begged him for the body of Jesus. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen, and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never before was laid. And that day the preparation of the Sabbath drew on. And the women also which came with him from Galilee followed after, and behold the sepulchre, and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments, and rested on the Sabbath day, according to the commandment.